so this, I 100%, I do not agree with. I don't agree with that. I think that, again, it's a choice. It is a choice. And being that women are in control of who is born into the world, regardless of anything. If you do not, especially if you've been in a situation. I've heard so many women who come on social media, whether they were baby mamas, whether they were married and got divorced, whether they were widowers, and they always talk about how difficult it is to raise a child on your own. They always talk about it. They say, don't believe the hype, don't believe the glamour. They always talk about the difficulty of raising a child on your own. So who feels it knows it. So especially people who are in that position, why put yourself in that position again and again and again?
No. Because people, they start off with different personas, and then you slowly kind of learn who they really are. So if you decide to walk away because that situation...
Told y'all know I keep my word. What up, Alan Kyle? What up, Clint? We watching River TV right now.
Okay. So there's 4 billion women on the planet. I'm a black American from Louisiana. I have the choice to have the pick of the litter. So why would I pick you if you have multiple baby daddies?
Well, don't pick me.
Right.
Yeah.
And
you
I
have the
understand
choice.
that.
You have the choice. We all
I
have the choice.
I have the choice, but you're
Yeah.
judging me on the fact that I have the choice.
No, I'm not judging you. That just means that I'm not for you. If you're going to judge me because my second baby daddy didn't work out for me, then I'm not for you. So I'm not judging
And
you
I
and your
understand that.
opinion
How many
and
kids
your
you have?
preference. I have 3.
You have
25, 18, and 12.
Okay, how many baby daddies?
2.
2. Okay. So there's no disrespect towards that, right? But I just want you to understand, when it comes to a man of top tier, right? We give you a few from one man. That's it. If you have multiple from a different man, that disqualifies yourself.
So it disqualifies a top tier woman from getting a top
That's
tier
exactly
man.
right. Why? Because there's
Yes.
billions of women on this planet.
Everybody clap it up.
And your ass make bad decisions. That's what it mean, ho.
Kevin Sanders.
Hey, y'all listen to my girl Reva in the back. Bro, I love her mindset. That's why we watching her right now.
Disqualifies yourself.
So it disqualifies a top tier woman from getting a top
That's
tier
exactly
man.
right. Why? Because there's
Yes.
billions of women on this planet.
Everybody clap it up for Kevin Sanders. Everybody clap it up for Kevin, because this is hitting these women with a boomerang, because a lot of men are understanding or waking up to the fact that you do have choices. You do not have to be with a woman who has multiple children, and you do not have to feel guilty about the fact that you don't want to be with a woman that has multiple children by multiple men. Shout out to the fact that, again, this man is respecting himself. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with this man saying, I don't want that. So now we understand why she popped her balloon. It was because, again, that light was shined on her, and she felt it was kind of like coming for her. When he was talking to the other women and exposing their situation, she did not feel happy about that. Now, again, she wasn't necessarily disrespectful in the way that she was saying what she was saying, and she's right. Obviously, she's not the woman for him, hence why she popped a balloon, because of the situation that she's in. Right? Like, obviously, if he talked about the woman who had 3 baby daddies and 2 baby daddies, and she has...
I appreciate all y'all in the chat right now. But I'm finna just play some episodes, because y'all know I keep my word. I'm adamant on keeping my word. I said earlier I was going to go live again. So, for anybody that joined the chat and shit, and if I don't see your comment, you all know what's up. It's cool. We watching this. But shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to Alan Kai. Shout out to Jonathan. Shout out to Stevie. Clarence. Shout out everybody in the chat right now. Y'all know I don't want to exclude nobody. But that's what's going on right now. So I appreciate y'all time. Just want y'all to listen up. And y'all go subscribe to River TV. You feel me?
2 baby daddies. Obviously, she is going to be in a situation where she's going to pop her own balloon, because obviously she's not the right match. Right? She's not. However, I just think that it is important that we do talk about the fact that there are, when you do have multiple children, even just more than one, right? If you have 2 children, or if you have 3 children with multiple men, or whatever the situation is, it is going to change the dating market for you. And that is just a reality that a lot of women have to understand. Now, I'm not saying that this woman in particular did not understand that, hence why she popped her own balloon. But I do want to say that, like, it is very necessary to understand that when women are going out there and they think like, oh yeah, I'll date this guy, and it's like, oh, it's almost like you're collecting babies. You know, it does come off a certain way where this man looks like, okay, not only are you, you know, coming to me, and it's a possibility that if our relationship did not work out, that you're just here for the baby, just being honest. But it also becomes where it looks as though it's a liability, because when he steps into that relationship, say for instance, a man steps into a relationship with a woman who has multiple children by multiple different men, and he is very interested in this woman, and he does want to take things to the next level and marry her. If that relationship does not work out, he is now at risk for paying child support for all of these children. Because when a man marries a woman who has a child, that is now his child. So that through that divorce, there is a strong possibility that he is going to have to pay child support for this child, just based off of the fact that they were a two-parent house. Not only that, even if the relationship is going good and great, this is something that he is going to have to provide for. It's not even like it's one, it's two, it's three. Also, we've seen the situation that happened where, you know, it can be a very tumultuous and toxic situation, especially if it's not a good relationship with these children and their father. I also have to bring it up again, where, you know, the situation that occurs where the man who's in the household, who is with you and in a relationship with you, he doesn't even have full leadership or the final say, because these children also have another man outside of the home that can dictate what these children can and cannot do, because he has the ultimate say, because those are his children. That's his seed. This is why it's very important for women, for younger women, to understand the magnitude of how the dating market can change once you procreate. Once you are, you know, a baby mama or an ex-wife or whatever the case is, and you have children in the mix. It's not nothing personal about it. It's just the truth. It's just the truth. I think that he was giving a harsh truth. I don't know if he was necessarily being disrespectful. I feel like he was just kind of being honest and exposing what the dating market is and how he views himself and how he holds himself to a high standard. And I feel like, you know, people can disagree and not like it, but he was just kind of being straightforward of the way that he views things, and anybody can only respect that. I don't feel like the women were being, you know, disrespectful. I feel like they were kind of, again, just kind of like exposed and didn't like the feeling of that.
What up, Alec? Man.
Alex.
But yeah, y'all know what's going, man. We watching Riva TV right now. Cause she keep it 1,000, and she just dropped a new video 23 hours ago.
I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Thank you, President Donald J. Trump, for securing our border. 31-year-old Atlanta woman has just been charged for making a false call to 911.
There's a reaction for every action. This is part A. You guys didn't have part A. You guys only had part B. And the narrative, it looks like I was trying to set this man up.
The house needs to be investigated. They're definitely doing stuff. They're doing illegal stuff over there, and it's disturbing the area.
What's up, guys? It's your girl Riva, and I'm back again with another video. Unfortunately, this is just a, you know, another trifling story of how women will do the most in situations, and it will literally lead to the demise of men just because women get into their emotions and their feelings. If you guys are unaware what I'm talking about, this is going to be the story of Atlanta rapper Young Scooter, who it was recently revealed that he unfortunately passed away. But the reasoning behind why he passed away is going to be completely explained in this video. So I'm going to go ahead and press play, pause play, give you guys my thoughts and feelings, and we're going to have the conversation together.
I'm not a lawyer, but a 31-year-old Atlanta woman has just been charged for making a false call to 911, which resulted in the of Atlanta rapper Young Scooter. Let me give you a quick recap to get caught up on this story. Last Friday, news hit that Atlanta rapper Young Scooter had passed away. According to Atlanta police, a woman called 911 to report seeing a woman being drugged without clothes on and some men with some weapons and some other stuff.
This was what, like, you know, last Friday when this news did break, it was a very big conversation. And again, it was alleged that there was a woman literally being dragged outside the house. Like, basically, they were being, aggressive with a certain woman, and that is what led to the police being called and the police going over there.
Here is some of that 911 call.
Atlanta 911 operator 8715. What is the location of your emergency? There was literally a student. The house, literally the neighbors next door, the house of the address that I just gave you, the 273. There is literally a whole domestic dispute going on. There's like 7 guys that live in this house. I'm on the neighborhood watch, and basically, like I said, these guys they're like selling stuff in and out of the house. All you see is guys coming in and out of the house with stuff, they hold stuff in the air. I'm not sure if they're pimping, but it's the situation that's going on right now. This girl doesn't have on any clothes. They threw her outside. He was fighting the girl. He literally fought the girl. I'm not sure if they were fighting over, if they were fighting. That's what it sounded like. It sounded like they were fighting over.
Now, before I continue the call, let me just say this. This call already is giving a lot of red flags, because either you are, aware of all the details that are going on in the house, which you would not be able to, have all of this information by just being the neighborhood watch to the situation. Like, that would absolutely make no sense. But then also, like, she's saying all of the, the things that would sound the alarm, right? Like, she's talking about the things that they're doing in and out the house, and she's naming all these other possible illegal things that could be going on that she's alleging. Then she's using domestic dispute. Like, obviously the intention of this person was to urgently get the police to come over to this house and to regulate whatever situation it was. It's clear.
And then they started, she had someone come over there and they started, but the house needs to be investigated. They're definitely doing stuff, they're doing illegal stuff over there. It's disturbing the area. And the girl is hurt because she was like bleeding profusely, like blood everywhere. Literally fighting, she's trying to get out. He's refusing to let her out. And it's like 7 guys in their house.
Now, during a press conference, Atlanta police say that they came to the house after that call, knocked on the door was shut in their face, and then 2 men fled from the residence. One of those men, being young Scooter, reportedly jumped a fence, and according to the medical examiner's office, the fence he jumped was a wooden one and somehow punctured his thigh, which resulted in him losing a substantial amount of blood and ultimately losing his life.
Now, okay, let me stop right here, right? This is my just my opinion on the situation. A lot of people were saying, like, they're blaming this call, but at the same time, like, if you know that you're not doing certain things, why would you run, right? So what happened is that this was actually this man's birthday, okay? The time and the situation that this girl made this call was actually the rapper Young Scooter's actual birthday. So he was at this place, I don't know if it was his home or someone else's home. He was there. There were a lot of people who were there, obviously celebrating with him. I'm going to assume that there was some kind of drinking involved, party. I don't know if they were smoking. I'm not sure, but anything that would involve, a party. Based on the 911 call and how intense it was, right? The police officers who were showing up to the scene are not going to come over there cool, calm, and collected. Okay? They're going to be coming there aggressive, hands up, this and that. Like, it's going to feel like, an attack. Okay? And so, in that situation, again, if you're not doing anything wrong, you should not have run. There should be no reason to run. But I could see that if they were possibly inebriated or if they were having a good time, like, the shock of that situation could cause people to just react, right? We watch enough cop shows to see that people just react in these situations, even sometimes if they're not necessarily doing something wrong. Regardless of whatever situation, right? He ended up running. He, hopped over a fence. The fence ended up puncturing a major wound. A major artery. And that was it for rapper Young Scooter.
And as for the naked woman that the caller said she saw was being drug around, during that press conference, police said they were never able to locate her.
Was the woman injured at all?
So we were not able to locate a female.
You said disputes with started in a car, a moving car, the dispute was
Outside of the residence.
outside of the residence, and then a woman was drugged back into the.
That's what was reported. We have not been able to substantiate any of that, which is also part of our investigation.
So again, she made this call talking about this woman who had no clothes on, who they were dragging around, who, you know, it was this whole situation. She don't know what they were fighting over and all this kind of stuff, and it was a whole big situation. Police got there as
Hey, y'all roll up. Y'all see what I got going. Y'all see what I got going. We just vibe.
urgently as they could, based off of all of the information that they got, this anonymous tip from the neighborhood watch. And when they got there, there was no woman in sight. Okay? There was 2 people who ran, again, one person being on a scooter. There were people who were still in the residence, and they did not see any woman. Not only did they not see any woman there, they did not see any sign that any woman was ever there. They did not see any thing around that would make them seem that any kind of altercation had taken place. They did not see none of that. Nothing.
Shush yourself.
Over the weekend, police announced that they are looking to speak with the woman who made the 911 call, and then a woman named Demi Blanco, who's also apparently on a reality TV show, did an Instagram live claiming she's the one who made the 911 call, and now police have announced that the woman who made that 911 call has now been taken into custody and charged with transmitting a false public alarm, specifically if serious bodily harm or result from the response of a public safety agency. Did you follow that? If you call police for a fake incident and police come and that results in somebody being injured, or you can be charged. You can be charged. This press release goes on to say that Mrs. Spence, the 911 caller, was wanted for her involvement in making a false 911 call regarding a person injured or deceased stemming from a March 28th incident, and she has been transported for processing. March 28th was also young Scooter's birthday, so he passed away on his birthday. This is such a sad story.
So it has been alleged on different parts of social media that actually what happened was that he was having a party. She was not invited to the party. She was jealous that he, maybe was going to invite other girls, or she didn't know what the situation was going to be at the house, and so she got angry and decided that she was going to make this, report on him or whatever to kind of get back at him again based off of her feelings and emotions. Horrible situation. It's also been alleged by this woman. She was trying to say that it was her and the situation was really happening or whatever the case is. Here's the audio clip of that.
There's an action, there's a reaction for every action. This is part A. You guys didn't have part A. You guys only had part B. And the narrative, it looks like I was trying to set this man up because you guys don't have part B. I'm giving you part B. I'm giving you what led up to the call. I was physically abused, so I called to protect myself. That's the issue. That's part A. I never had any intentions to get anybody hurt. I was the one that was getting hurt. And I came here to say my truth. That's it, that's all. I don't want no clout. I don't want anything. All these troll pages, y'all don't know me. None of y'all know me at all. At the end of the day, I'm a woman. And I was physically abused multiple times.
Now, if what she's saying in that, in her live was true, none of that matters, okay? That is not a defense to what happened in this situation. Now, you see, if you were over there and something was actually happening to you and you decided to duck off and call anonymously and let them know, but you literally started to give all this information. She said that she was being harmed. What does that have to do with anything else that is going on within that home? Okay? To start making, false claims again about, people harming, a woman, which you were not there in that moment. You're talking about something that happened in the past, and now you're trying to call them now to try to get back at the situation. You are not, you're adding all this fuel to the situation so that when they go over there, it's gonna be a big problem. Like, we have to call it out for what it is. And it is such a sad story, like this woman said on the screen, because, here you have this whole situation that happened, and it was so unnecessary, all because of your feelings, your emotions, or you trying to, quote unquote, get back over something that allegedly happened. Nobody even knows that that's something that's true that happened. Nobody will ever know. So obviously the police have now arrested her because, initially a lot of people on social media were under the impression that maybe it was the police that did this, right? And so the police is like, listen, we ain't do nothing, okay? We ain't had nothing to do with this. We just responded to something that somebody told us. We went over there to see what's up. They started running, and it led to the situation. But we want to go to the person who made us go over there in the first place, okay? We need to go find that person who made us go over there in the first place. Because based off of the investigation, everything that person said on the phone, we don't see nothing that adds up to what she said. It's a horrible thing. Horrible thing. And, again, at her big age, to go on the phone and make up this elaborate lie is crazy to me. It's so unfortunate. Like, this is such an unfortunate situation, And I'm glad that they are, using this. They're charging her. I'm wondering what the charges are going to be. I'm glad that she is, facing the repercussions for her actions so that other people do not take this up on their head and think that they're going to get away scot-free by doing this. Because you're not. I'd like to know what you guys think about.
Man, bruh, shout out River TV. I be binge watching her channel, bro. I subscribe to her on my main channel. I rock with River TV the long way. Like, just knowing that there's women out here that got that type mindset, and you can't do nothing but respect it. So that's why I be watching her.
It's time for the double play sales event at Gateway GMC, where you'll find the best savings of the season on the best GMC Select.
For the era, Mr. Rashad, where dignity and grace were everything. So you ever look at how wild Hollywood is now, you just think to yourself, boy, y'all gotta be. Y'all gotta be that might be.
No, I don't even have to look at Hollywood. I have to look at the way young ladies dress.
No disrespect to Felicia Rashad, but she is a pick-me also. I already peeped game when she was riding for Bill Cosby. Why does everything older women say always have to go back to a man? I don't understand that. They need to reprogram their minds. Everything y'all want to do because y'all are insecure and y'all care about the public's perception.
I ain't even gonna cap gang right now. I'm really looking for a cameraman, bro. I want to run it up. Like, I want a cameraman, bro. I want somebody I can work with us in on the cameraman side. Because I really want to stream, too. I want to live stream also, like going outside and shit. But that's what I'm looking for. What up, CC? We watching some YouTube right now. We watching River TV and how she finna react to some shit. But I'm in Houston right now. I'm really just on the East Coast. But yeah, I'm willing to pay a cameraman and all that. Somebody can do thumbnails and shit like that. I'm trying to run it the fuck up. I want us to run it up. So yeah, that's what I'm looking for right now. I'm really not looking for no collabs and shit. Unless it's like a podcast or some shit like that. Like, because the nigga got a whole lot to say. But that's really something else I want to do too, a podcast, you feel me? I want a professional setup. So it's like, if I know people who really own that, DM me on Instagram at playboyplay2_. I got a business email at playboybusiness80@gmail.com. You can hit me there too. But yeah, chop it up. But we watch some YouTube right now. Shout out to Cece in the chat. But we watch some YouTube right now, so I really ain't finna be tending to what's going on right here. I just need y'all to know that. I'm trying to vibe. I'm trying to just listen to the knowledge real quick. I can do video edits too. Hey, yeah, we gonna lock in, Allen, because I really, bro, this is what I need, bro. We need some thumbnails busting that's gonna break the algorithm. We need some thumbnails going crazy. And I need a videographer. And of course, y'all know I'm gonna break bread at a reasonable price. Come on now. Y'all, that's just what it is. But y'all know where to hit me up at if y'all really want to do that. I need a videographer and a thumbnail maker. Video edits too, all that shit. Y'all know where to get at me at. It's just that simple. We all gonna come up together. Y'all, you know what the fuck going. I'm gonna get everybody getting credit for what they doing. So y'all know what the fuck going. But yeah, let's get back to this video.
No disrespect to Felicia Rashad, but she is a pick-me also. I already peeped game when she was riding for Bill Cosby. Why does everything older women say always have to go back to a man. I don't understand that. They need to reprogram their minds. Everything y'all want to do because y'all are insecure and y'all care about the public's perception of you.
What's up, guys? It's your girl Riva, and I'm back again with another video. So recently, the beautiful actress Phylicia Rashad was actually on The Breakfast Club, in which Charlamagne actually asked her questions about the state of women today, and she answered and more specifically talked about the way in which women are dressing.
You can't put an era, Miss Rashad, where dignity and grace were everything. So you ever look at how wild Hollywood is now, you just think to yourself, boy, y'all wouldn't gotta be with that, my bit.
No, I don't even have to look at Hollywood. I can look at the way young ladies dress.
Now, I previously addressed this whole entire situation in a separate video in which I talked about the fact that, you know, women wanted her canceled, that she was receiving all this backlash. And I thought it was kind of weird, especially based off of the fact that she not only made, you know, such a blatant disclaimer, you know, letting it known that she was not trying to offend anyone.
I don't need to be. Ladies, listen, don't take this as personal criticism, because I don't need it.
But also the fact that she was talking to women and, you know, she called them queens.
Look at young queens. I'm taken aback when I see on a college campus young women dressed in strips of clothing.
So I was actually sent this video to me on Instagram of basically this woman having some kind of contrary opinion to the things that Phylicia Rashad said. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and press play, then pause play, and give you guys my thoughts, my feelings, my opinions on this entire situation.
Why is it that anytime older women try to give game to younger women, it always circles back to being about a man? No disrespect to Phylicia Rashad. I respect that lady. I think she's beautiful, she's talented, she's everything. But she is a pick-me also. I already peaked the game when she was riding for Bill Cosby. I don't feel like getting into all of that.
We're going to get into that. Okay? We're definitely going to get into that. How can you contradict yourself so fast in the video? Like, so quick. You talk about that you respect her, and immediately you call her a pick-me, and we all know that pick-me is not a term of endearment. Okay? Who knows better than me that pick-me is not a term of endearment? So you're saying you respect this woman, but then you're already like calling her a name. And then, you know, a lot of people actually had these sentiments about the Bill Cosby situation. And I thought that was also interesting because, first of all, in regards to Phylicia Rashad and Bill Cosby, Phylicia Rashad was not one of Bill Cosby's victims, okay? But a lot of people asked Phylicia Rashad her opinions of who Bill Cosby is as a person, and she gave her honest feedback of, you know, her experience with this man, having worked with him for however many years.
What can I say to these women whom I don't know? What can I say to things that you are hearing when I'm telling you what I've seen? I'm telling you what I've experienced. What can I say? This is about the obliteration of legacy. My
thing is that I feel like a lot of women, especially, expected Phylicia Rashad to just stand with these women and go against Bill Cosby. And that would have been her just, you know, going along to get along. It would not have been her speaking her truth. So using this, again, to try to, I guess, diminish her credibility and try to say that basically she's not a girl's girl.
Some people might think that it was dismissive. And I am a woman. I would never say this.
Because she stood behind, you know, Bill Cosby and she's a pick-me. It's just, already we're off to a bad start.
But she was on The Breakfast Club and she was talking about the way that women dress today. Now, she's entitled to her opinion. That's totally fine. And I was okay with the message until she said, and most importantly, no man wants a woman that dresses whatever way they were talking about.
But more importantly than that, no man wants his woman to be out like that. Right?
Why is that the most important element when it comes to how a woman is dressing? And why don't people understand that not all women date men? There are some women that don't date men. There are a lot of women out here that have opted out of dating entirely.
You know, here's what gets me, right? I always try to start with a very objective like a level playing field when I have these conversations. I'm definitely open to hearing somebody's opinion that is contrary to something that I believe, right? Because I am not like simple-minded, right? I can't just have a conversation with people who agree with me. I'm open to hearing other sides of the conversation. But this is when I get, I get a little hot in the head, okay? And the reason why is because, the term, if it don't apply, let it fly. A lot of women have a hard time understanding that. Why would Phylicia Rashad be talking to women about, a man would not want his woman to be like that if she's talking to women who are not interested in dating men? That's foolish. She's clearly having the conversation for women who want to be in relationships, for women who want to be married, for women who want to be the counterpart to a man. That's quite obvious. Okay? And furthermore, as she's having that conversation, if it doesn't apply to you or if you do not agree, you don't have to be angry about it. You could just not agree.
And don't care about what a man want to see her in. Why does everything older women say always have to go back to a man? I don't understand that. They need to reprogram their minds. They need to reprogram their minds. Like, it's 2025. We work too hard to have autonomy, to always have to be connected to what a man likes and what a man doesn't like. If y'all constantly keep saying, oh, men don't like when women dress like this.
Okay, we work so hard to be in 2025 when we have the women who are the most disrespectful, the most ignorant, the rudest, the most single, the most miserable, unhappy. Like, I can go down the list. Okay? The older generation of women does not need to reprogram their mind because they had it together. Okay? They know how to cook, clean, they were elegant. You can take a woman like the likes of a Phylicia Rashad. She was a wife. Okay? She was a woman that you can take her to church, you can take her to meet your family, you can take her to the club, you can take her anywhere. She can get in any place and fit in and be her own, person. We're in this generation now that the only places that these women can be invited to is to the bed. That's it. There's nothing else they bring. They're not nurturing, they're not caring, they're not feminine, they're not agreeable, they're not compassionate, nothing. So already, again, this is crazy to me.
Men don't like when women wear their hair like this, wear lashes, wear makeup, this or whatever, and a woman is still doing those things that a man doesn't want. Wouldn't that tell you that we can care?
You don't care. Speak for yourself. You don't care. Now, maybe that can be that you don't care because you're bitter. Maybe you don't care because you're unable to garner positive results based off of your choices or the men that you personally are attracting. Maybe you don't care because you have, again, a very, what's the word I would call? Uncooperative demeanor, argumentative demeanor. Maybe that's why you don't care. But there are women who actually want to be in relationships. There are women who actually want to be wives. And so there are women who are following the trend of what all these other women are putting out there with the fake lashes, the hair, the nails, the pounds and loads of makeup, all these things. And a lot of these women were under the impression that this is what guys like. So when guys come out and say that this is something they don't like, when women who are looked at in a regal manner come forth and say this is not what guys like, it allows women to see the broader perspective. Okay, what women like this woman on the screen only, just my opinion, what they only like to be perpetuated is, you can do whatever you want. Women are the prize, women are the center of the world. A man has to bow down and worship you, and if he don't, he's a bad guy. Like, that's the only narrative that they want out there. Hence why she started yelling and everything, getting all aggressive, based off of, again, an opinion that she doesn't agree with.
Coco and Ice-T. She dressed however she wants to dress. She do whatever she want to do. And he's been married to her for how long?
Horrible example. Okay? Horrible example. No disrespect to Ice-T or to his wife Coco or to their marriage. But a lot of the women would not be... First of all, have you done your research on Ice-T? Okay? Do the research on Ice-T and come back to me.
IRS e-file is now open. Snap your W-2 and file your taxes 100% free. Plus, get your biggest refund.
Okay? Do the research on IST and come back to me.
There are plenty of men that don't be getting in women's business like that. They don't care about policing women and trying to control every woman's every move. Y'all be the ones who try to control everything y'all want to do because y'all are insecure.
Now she's calling Phylicia Rashad insecure. So again, let me just bring it back full circle. Phylicia Rashad talked about women wearing less and less clothes and how you can be attractive and still have a lot of clothes on. And how it's basically disheartening to see that in the younger generation. Now, again, she deflected onto there's women who don't want to be in a relationship with men. There's women who want to be single. What about Ice and Coco? You know, now she deflected. Women are insecure. You women are insecure who create these narratives of what men really don't want. Phylicia Rashad, in her time, okay, would give almost all, if not all, including myself, okay, she would give all of us women a run for our money. She absolutely would. Gorgeous woman. And she was not in the era of these loads and pounds of makeup. If you wipe off her face, that's exactly what she looked like. Natural body, natural hair, skin flawless, shape impeccable, aura on 1,000. Like, she is and will always be that girl. So to even allege anything about insecurity in the same sentence with Phylicia Rashad is delusional. Next thing that I find very interesting is that these are the same women who talk about like, oh, y'all don't protect women, y'all don't protect black women. You know, a man cannot protect what he can't control. He can't. And if we're being extremely honest, a lot of you women put your men in danger on a daily basis by the way that you dress. It's true. Because if we're being 100% honest, if we're being 100% transparent, you know, yes, some of the attire that you are wearing is very inviting. Now, I'm not saying that it is okay for a man to cross certain boundaries with a woman just based off of the way that she's dressed. I definitely, 100% as a woman, it would be crazy for me to agree with something like that. I do not agree with that. However, there are people out there who are unhinged, okay? And so if you are giving them, you know, more access to see something visually than they get to see on their day-to-day basis, and again, these people are unhinged, mentally unstable, and you are out there talking about, I don't care, I don't got to think about what a man thinks, I don't care, you know, this is just what I want to wear. Who cares? He got to know that, you know, what's right and wrong. He better not touch me. You know, women like this, in my opinion, amp these women up to go out into society and do certain things. And if they get into trouble, these women are not going to be there to save them. They're not. They're not going to be anywhere in arm's reach to protect this woman. The conversations from the older generation is always that prevention is better than cure. These women only care when something is there to cure.
And yo, I care about the public's perception of you. And like I said, I would be totally fine with the message if she kept it about the women and themselves. But to constantly always have to bring something back to a man, it's crazy. It's getting old. It's been old.
Yeah, I mean, nobody cares about what your opinion was about that situation. Obviously, that message didn't apply to you, right? Like, obviously, that message had nothing to do with you because, you know, the people who it was meant for, I believe and I hope that those women did actually receive it. It clearly wasn't for you. And, you know, give thanks for the women with higher understanding and the women who completely appreciated you know, what she was saying and went on such a big platform like that and, you know, had it in her, the strength within her to say that, knowing that it was going to go against the grain. I appreciate her for that. I love her for that. I love women who can stand 10 toes down, knowing that other women are going to be offended, but still look them in the eye and say, baby, I love you. I love you so much that I'm going to tell you the truth. I appreciate it because we, as women, we also tired. Okay, I'm tired of seeing the camel toe. I'm tired of seeing the booty cheeks. And I'm just in a grocery store trying to get the stuff that I need to get. Okay? I'm keeping it real.
I had to make a follow-up video because a lot of y'all keep saying I'm missing Felicia Rashad's point, but no, y'all are actually missing my point. Y'all think my video is a rebuttal against her saying that young women need to dress more appropriately, and that's not what that is.
Okay, no one missed your point. I think you're missing your own point. Or maybe you don't know what your point is. But everything that you said in your video was absolutely a rebuttal to every single thing that she said.
But yeah, man. Y'all know what's going on. Trying to get my shit together, man. Get my shit together. Oh yeah, you know what's up, Marlon. Shout out to Marlon, man. You know what's going on. Email me. Email me, Marlon.
I bought the team, girl. I bought the team. I put it on my Chase Freedom Unlimited card. And I'm going to cash back on a few other things, too. Starting with the sound system.
So if you're about to start missing payments or having late payments because you feel like the insurmountable debt that you owe to the credit card company can't possibly be paid, watch this video. So it dawned on me a few days ago that I've pretty much taught you guys everything I possibly can about how to pay your credit card bills the right way. But those videos for me and people like me in this space typically revolve around people who don't have much debt on those credit cards. So what about those of you who are maxed out on your credit cards and have no extra money each month to start paying those down? We're pretty much on a revolving hamster wheel of making the minimum monthly payments, watching that balance skyrocket each month. But don't worry, as usual, I got you. Come on. So I want to introduce a concept to you guys. It's not new. Matter of fact, it's fairly old, but most of us aren't talking about this because it's not popular. Now, I'm sure most of you have heard about a concept called velocity banking. The method that I'm going to show you guys today is pretty much a representation of that concept. Now, in order to pull this off, it's going to take an immense amount of discipline and possibly some lifestyle changes. But if you can tighten everything up for a couple years, you can pretty much get rid of any debt that you have with credit cards. Let's go. Now, what we're going to do is use a representation of a person who makes $4,000 a month, but has expenses of exactly $4,000 a month, which leaves them with $0 cash flow when everything is paid off. Now, to make it realistic, we're going to include a rent/mortgage depending on which one you have. So I can tell you exactly how to split everything up in order to get this right. Now, the credit card in question is going to have a $10,000 balance, which will come with a $400 monthly payment because typically it's going to be about 4% of the balance that you owe on a minimum monthly payment on any credit card. Now, I want to make this a really shitty credit card with a 30% interest rate just to kind of really drive the point home that it can be done pretty much on any card. Now, I'm not going to add the interest rate into the monthly payment as we move through this model because I want to keep the numbers simple and round. But at the end of this video, I'll let you know exactly what I think about that 30% interest rate and how to deal with that moving forward. So the person we're going to be discussing is going to have $4,000 left after everything's been taken out of their check. The money's been deposited in their bank account and they can spend it. Now, the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to take out all money that cannot be spent on a credit card, i.e. rent, mortgage, sometimes even a car note. So if you can't spend it on a credit card, we're going to separate that money and put it in a different account. Now, our rent payment in this model is going to be $2,000 a month, which leaves us with $2,000 to maneuver with throughout the month, paying bills, getting gas, food, etc. Now, once we factor in all those expenses after the rent has been taken care of, like I said, we're going to have $2,000 left, which will leave us with $0 of cash flow after everything has been paid throughout the month. And just so we can keep an eye on where we came from, we're going to put the credit card information down at the bottom. So let's get started with month number 1, where we have a flat $10,000 balance on a maxed out $10,000 credit card. The very first thing you're going to do is take every single dime you have left in the bank account after the rent or the mortgage has been paid and put it into that credit card. And yes, I said every single dime. Because at the beginning of this video, I told you flat out, anything that can't be paid by a credit card, separate it and put it in a different account. So whatever's left over belongs to that credit card. This will take our balance down to $8,000. Now, what I want you to pay attention to is when we pay that $2,000 into this credit card. Go back to some of my videos that I made about paying everything down by the statement date, because what you want to do is make sure that when you pay this down, this number reports to the credit bureaus. You don't want to wait until you run it back up by paying all your bills throughout the month. So pay this $2,000 to this credit card as close to the statement date as possible, and try not to spend any money on it for a few days. This will do a couple of things. Not only will it help you start paying down this credit card faster, over time helping your score skyrocket quickly. Now throughout the month, we're going to realize about $1,600 in expenses and bills. This can't be avoided. These are things that can't change. So we know for a fact that we're going to be charging this amount of money to this card throughout the month. Now I know you're probably a little confused. You're probably thinking, Jay, in the beginning you told us we had $2,000 of expenses. Well, that's true. But what you're not taking into account is that once you move this money over to this credit card over here, this is actually going to satisfy this $400 monthly payment, thus eliminating this as a bill altogether. This will create $400 cash flow where there was zero before. So each month that you continue to do this, you'll realize a $400 drop in overall balance if you can stay disciplined, which will bring us down to the $9,600 at the end of the month. Now, once again, I told you that we're not going to talk about interest rate, but let's go ahead and put that into perspective here for a second. The interest rate on a $10,000 credit card at 30% is about $241 a month. Now, the reason why I'm not going to make a big deal out of that $241 a month that they're going to tack onto this $10,000 balance is because you can pretty much earn $240 a month doing anything. Instacart, Uber Eats, Uber, Lyft, anything. Posting yourself on Craigslist to do a couple of odd jobs for people, you can make that $240 up. So if that's going to be your main excuse for not being able to get this done, it wasn't going to work for you anyway. Now, an important part I forgot to mention right there about how the interest rate is calculated is that every month you pay this balance down more and more, that interest rate shrinks more and more. Just in case you didn't know how the interest rate was calculated, they take the statement ending balance and times that by the interest rate, in this case 30%. They then take that large number and divide it by 365 days. Interest rate is calculated on the average daily balance. So every month that that balance is shrunk, they have less and less to calculate that 30% by. So let's move on to month 2. So as you can see in month 2, our starting balance is at $9,600. We're going to do the same exact thing as we did the previous month, right? We're going to move our rent or mortgage payment over to a different account, as well as anything else that can't be paid by a credit card. Then we're going to move all of the rest of the money from our bank account back over to this credit card. We're going to do this right before the statement date so that the $7,600 balance that we see here gets reported to the credit bureaus. Once again, dropping our utilization rate down further. Now, because we've satisfied this $400 monthly payment for this credit card, we only have $1,600 in expenses once again. After we've gone through our month of $1,600 expenses, whether it's bills, food, gas, whatever it may be, our ending balance for the month is going to be $9,200. Now, we're already down $800 after 2 months on this credit card. We haven't earned any additional money yet, and we're still making a dent in this big balance. If you do this month after month after month after month, you guys will continue to see this balance drop. At month number 6, we're already down to $7,600. Now, at this point in our journey, we're starting to realize that we have a little bit of a cash cushion within this credit card balance. Like I told you before, this was a $10,000 limit that was maxed out at $10,000. But once you get down to the point where you have about a $3,000 cushion, this is where life starts to go haywire. Tell me I'm lying. Anything will happen within your life. A flat tire, transmission goes out, your mama needs a couple of bucks, your kid has a class trip or a prom, or anything that will take a chunk of money out of your pockets. Now, a lot of people get scared because they keep saying, Jay, I'm putting all of my money from my bank account into this credit card. I have no cash left over. Well, that's not true, because essentially by having the discipline to pay this down this way, you're creating a savings account within this credit card balance that you can use at any time. Your daughter needs a prom dress, put it on the credit card. You need those new tires, put it on the credit card. Your mama needs money for groceries, take her shopping on the credit card. Transmission, credit card. Emergency family bereavement trip, put it on the credit card. There's not a lot that you can't do in this day and age that can't go on a credit card. And that's the reason why we satisfy the rent or the mortgage payment up front, is so that we take care of those expenses that can't be solved on the credit card right away. We're going to go to a model where we can see how things kind of break down month over month over month over month, and after month 19. Now, before we get into month 19, I want to go back to month 18, because this is an important marker in this journey. When you look at month 18, you've now officially dropped just below that 30% utilization rate for this particular credit card. Now, if this is the only credit card that you're dealing with like this, then the rest of your credit file is pretty clean. At this point in time, I would start hunting for a balance transfer credit card. Because once you get a good balance transfer credit card with a 0% interest rate on a balance transfer, now you can move the rest of that $2,800 debt over to that card and continue paying without the interest rate penalty. This makes the journey go by a lot faster and a lot easier. What I'm trying to get you to understand is that there's a lot of nuance when you're paying paying attention to your finances, and you learn how to operate the proper way. Now, if you're like most and having absolutely no cash in the bank is an untenable situation, please feel free to take $300, $500, or even save $100 out of every check and keep that as cash on hand. This is not a 100% absolute. You have to do it this exact way in order for it to work. The math still maths over time. I'm just using an extreme example so you can see how it can go at its maximum efficiency. So like the late great Kevin Samuels always said, eat the meat and spit out the bones, man. Don't come at me in the comments talking about how nobody can operate with no cash in the bank account. Do what you do. Make it work for you. And before we get back into the video, I want to explain to you probably the most important thing about learning how to operate the credit card this way. And that's becoming solely reliant on the credit card for spending and completely ignoring the cash in your bank account for spending on daily expenditures. This becomes a great habit because it allows you to continue to build your relationship with the credit card company while not exposing yourself because you're spending cash and credit at the same time. This is where the danger zone occurs. Because let's face it, it's just a matter of time before you spend too much here out of your bank account, spend too much here on the credit card if you don't have enough here to pay here. Now you find yourself back in this situation all over again. Let's get back to the video. We're down to $2,200, and at month 24, we've pretty much eliminated this entire debt. Now we're into the saving money. And if you continue to be disciplined, like most normal human beings, as you continue to work and progress through your job, you're probably going to make more money, which will put you in a much better financial situation moving forward. Now, what triggered me to make this video the way I just made it was actually seeing this video on a YouTube channel called Fantastic. Now, I like the...
What's up, Lily?
Introducing the all-new Passport Transport, fully redesigned with available trail wash to help you conquer tough terrain. Our most capable model yet.
Kroger Delivery has 2 missions.
But yeah, appreciate y'all time. I want y'all to have a good day. I'm gonna kick it with y'all. I gotta clean up a little bit. I'm about to soak this game up on this credit shit. Trying to focus on increasing that income. Gotta increase your income. You gonna fuck with that credit. So I'm trying to fuck with this credit shit. So make the right investments in certain shit. See y'all in the next clip.